What's up, gang? Brad Bodnarchuk here with a brand new podcast on the Seeking Growth Leadership Podcast. And it has been a minute yet again since I have posted a video or a podcast. And I think there is value in me sharing why that is and what's transpired for me over the past few weeks, I guess 2 months, call it 3 months. But I'm hopping on today because of what has transpired. I feel so compelled to share with anyone that's wanting to listen. And also this has always been for me a bit cathartic. This being podcast, be it my blog on my website, shameful plug, writing or recording, for some reason, for me, is almost a bit therapeutic. And through that, the win has been I've been able to share with other people. And I think through that sharing, there has been some sort of alignment or a certain attraction that my seeking of this form of therapy has allowed for other people to feel like they can connect with whatever it is that I'm sharing at that time, be it focused on leadership, be it focused on life or business or seeking growth. It seems as though by me being authentic in this way, it's allowed for other people to connect with my message and ideally with me. So I come back on today as a bit of therapy in regards to what I'm currently working through in business and in life. And the message I wanted to share on today's podcast, and again, this is kind of therapy for myself, is life is a series of choices. And the choices that we've made to date have given us the results that we currently have. So the relationship that you're in, the body that you have, the bank account that you have, all of your realities are because of a series of choices that you have made in your life. And all of the realities that I have in my life today, even being here on this podcast, is the summary of choices that I have made. And here's what I'm understanding now more loudly than ever is when something happens for us, not to us, but for us, we have a choice. And we have a choice in a lot of situations, and I'll use my own currently as an example. We have a choice to either be a victim and lean on others outside of us, or we have a choice to kind of grin at it, lean on ourselves, if you will. I don't know if that's actually possible, but you get what I'm saying, and move forward and push through it and don't be a victim. All of these cliches, but it's regardless of what you choose, please understand, this is to myself and to you as well, please understand that it is your choice. And sure, there's a segment of our population globally that a lot of choices are taken away from them, and I'm sensitive to that. I would assume the majority of people that are listening to my content or consuming this, you have the ability to make choices in your life. And I just wanted to come onto this podcast today to reintroduce myself to this platform and this method of sharing for myself and say, you have a choice. And I'm speaking to myself, Brad, you have a choice, or whoever's listening right now, you have a choice. If you woke up this morning, which if you're listening to this, you obviously did, you have a choice of what you do with your day. Sure, you have some responsibilities like myself. We have 2 kids, we have a home, there are responsibilities. I have a partner. I'm responsible up until a certain point. But once those responsibilities are filled, it is my choice to do what I want to do with the time that I have. And for a lot of us, that is our reality. So what are you going to do with the time that you have? What are you going to do with the challenges that you're faced with? And I heard this a few weeks ago, and I thought it was just beautiful in its simplicity. And I'm really implementing it or digesting it right now. And it is, when things go wrong in business and in life, not if, but when, what are you going to do? What choices will you make? Will you be the person that is complaining, playing a victim, like I mentioned earlier, or will you just be looking at it and say, wow, this is really difficult. Why I wouldn't have necessarily chosen this outcome. I'm choosing to keep my head up. I'm choosing to find some positives in this situation and move through it and look at it as an opportunity for me to grow, seek growth, and be a better person, be a better father, be a better partner, be a better leader, whatever it may be. So while I wanted today's podcast to focus on the power of the choices that we make, I also want to tie it back to leadership a bit, because I am so intrigued by leadership and I want to myself be a phenomenal leader. I want to be a phenomenal leader for my family, for my community, for clients that I work with, for businesses that I align with. And the lesson that I'm taking right now and I'm really working to implement is, a great leader, in my opinion, when things are going quote unquote wrong, there is no true difference in how they show up. They are not ignorant to quote unquote good and bad, but they are so dependable in any scenario. No matter what it is, they are going to show up how they know the business or the team needs them to show up. And they're not going to be essentially showing up in a different way. They're going to show up in a known way. Their way of being is so powerful, even when things aren't great. And before I hit record today, that was something that I thought to myself. And it was, can you be grateful when things aren't going great? It's very easy as a leader to be a great leader when your team is quote unquote winning. It's very great to be a great partner when everything in your relationship is coming up roses. And when your kids are acting great, it's great to be a great father. But how do you show up? What choices do you make when things get difficult? Does your approach change? And I'm realizing, again, this is crazy at 41. I'm just coming to the realization of these things. At 41, it shouldn't matter. There's a time and a place, absolutely, to be upset, to be frustrated, to be gentle with yourself, all of those things. But if you are a leader in any sort of way, if you really want to achieve things in your life, and I'm talking to myself here and anyone that wants to listen, is you have to keep going. You just have to. I mean, look at history itself. Anyone that has done anything of true value, when there's been a challenge, they have basically pushed through that challenge. They didn't wave a white flag. They didn't complain. They didn't seek to blame other people. They didn't play the victim. They assessed the situation and they did what they needed to do to move forward. So I wanted to come on today to share that I'm at a point right now in my life at 41 years old, as the year's about to wrap up, where I have a choice. And I have a choice every single day, and in every single interaction that I have, every single happening that occurs, I have a choice. And my choices have gotten me here, and my choices are going to essentially lay out my future for me. So what are the choices that I'm making? Are they positive? Are they in alignment with my values? Or are they negative and out of alignment with my values? If that's the case, I should expect to live outside of my values. Life is a series of choices. And I just want for myself and for anyone else out there that maybe resonate with this as well, is to sit back and take, how do I say this? Radical ownership over where you're at today and define where it is you want to be this time next year. As my mentor Bill says, what is it that you want? We can't get anywhere unless we know where it is we want to go. So what is it that you want, And then from there, what choices are the choices that you need to make? So as I wrap up today, I want to say welcome back to myself and to anyone who's here listening. And I want to say, don't be a victim, be a victor. Look challenges in the face and almost laugh at them a bit, because the choice you have to do the opposite is just, it's more challenging. There's very little growth there. And I really do want for myself and anyone out there listening is to achieve growth. And what that means for me is being 100% yourself. And it's whenever your time is up, my time is up. It is knowing that we were 100% authentic. And as my friend Dave Nixon just said on his latest podcast, pardon me, was be unapologetically yourself. That to me is the growth piece. It is growing to be that. It's growing to be unapologetically yourself. So make choices that are in line with your values. Make choices that are in line with who you ultimately want to be. And at the end of the day, I believe that I will rest a lot easier doing that than I would doing the opposite, which is making decisions and choices based on others' opinions or others' ideals or others' visions. So that's it. Have an incredible day. Be ridiculously good to each other. And you know what to do until next time. Be good and do good. Peace.